Welcome to Black Table Read.
Hi.
Good to see everybody. If it's your first time, welcome. We are so glad that you've joined us. It's going to be a great one, so buckle up. Like I said, if this is your first time, please go check out our podcast on YouTube. You can rewatch previous episodes or wherever you watch or wherever you listen to podcasts. So that includes Apple, Spotify, Anchor, wherever you watch those things, you can catch up on us. My name is Jarius Clyott, aka King Petty,
What's up, y'all? It's Lydia Yaku, the Queen of Shade. How y'all doing?
and we're gonna be your host for tonight and for every night that you tune into Black Table Read. This thing ain't changing. Like I said, if you just checked in with us, this is our season finale for season 1 of Black Table Read.
Brr,
It's
brr,
funny.
brr.
It's funny, like me and Lydia were talking before we got started. Like this was just a kind of a concept. Uh, it was just something we just on a whim just was like,
Literally, it came
lit-
just from a question,
yeah,
an impromptu. Yo, we need to talk about this. Let's
yeah.
get on Facebook. We couldn't even just call each other.
We were like,
I'll
we
put
gotta talk
something
about
up, and
this.
Jerry was like, "Oh, we got to talk about this."
We
Matter of
got
fact, let's bring people in on this. It was like,
yeah.
okay, and we was
A-
on to something.
And then next minute, we were premiering with season 1 on October 13th. So here we are, um 2 months later, and we've done the doggone thing. So get ready for season 2 sometime in 2021. It's going to be just packed with so many good things. I can't wait to get started on it. But we're here for tonight's season finale, so we're going to kick things off. So if you're a first timer, we always start our show off with the black top. This is where we talk about everything from sports to entertainment. We talk about it all. We cover all things black because we got to showcase us. This is the best place to showcase us. So, Lydia, I'm gonna get us started.
Go ahead.
uh, so I don't know if I have any Empire fans. I stuck with Empire to the end. I'll say it. I was a fan when
I
it first got started, and then I was like, well, I can't go anywhere, even though the show's starting to get terrible storylines.
Yeah, I think I ended after season three, and
I couldn't even tell you like most shows. I can tell you what happened season to season. They just all seem to kind of blend together with Taraji just yelling and
it's
cussing out Lucius and throwing some type of fit. So
my son. That's my son, Lucius.
yeah, so I don't know, but I don't know if some people knew, but there was a spinoff in the works with Taraji and Cookie and about her journey after Lucius and everything. Well, much like Star, Empire has crumbled as well. So Fox is not moving forward with the Empire spinoff. And so it's still being shopped around to other networks. I just don't really see it getting a resurrection like that. Like it served its purpose, it had its run.
Yeah.
I'm pretty okay with. I think COVID affected how it originally was supposed to end. The
Mhm.
last season had this weird like foreshadowing of Cookie and Lucius being killed, but then the series finale didn't show anything related to that. It was like the weirdest thing. I have no clue who in the writers' room came up with that concept.
Yeah.
But it was not the move to go. But I don't know. Yeah, I think I would much rather, surprisingly enough, I would much rather bring back Star than Empire.
I started Star, and I'm gonna get back to it because I the episode I watched, or no, I watched a few episodes, but it was one in particular. I was kind of like, okay, this is cute. I'm gonna catch it next week, and I never jumped back on it. So yeah,
Yeah, and
I'm
I
jumping back
wish
to
I wish Lee Daniels, because I think a lot of industries, or well, not industries, a lot of networks and whatnot have done like this world building kind of thing because they see it is popular in like Marvel movies and DC movies. Like it's this whole like, let's do a spinoff and then connect these two characters or something. So like Empire also is in the same universe as Star,
yeah.
because Queen Latifah's character showed up at Empire at one point, and somebody showed up in Star. So I felt like they should have played on that a little bit more throughout both of the shows kind of running. They were just like, all right, this person's gonna pop up every now and then this person's pop up, like done more sharing and crossovers and that kind of stuff. I think it would have kind of made it better. But
Yeah,
alas, we will not get to see Cookie Lion unless some miracle happens. But Taraji is about to launch her own talk show about mental health on Facebook
she is.
Watch, called Peace of Mind with Taraji. Um, and then, I mean, she's been doing her thing. Last month, she hosted the American Music Awards, and
Yep.
so, I mean, she's kind of doing the doggone thing. So
She
I'm
gonna
not.
be sister's gonna be booked, okay?
Look. She said one thing about me. I'm gonna get a check.
Right.
I'm a act. I'm a do
I
something, but
got
I'm gonna get.
mine. You
Look,
best
look,
get yours.
look. I's good. Juicy Smollett. You better get your
See, cranberries.
look.
Cranberries.
Look, not crib. Your safe word.
Oh,
Look, every time I think about his name, all I can think about is Dave Chappelle.
I
You know
can't.
that French actor got Juicy Smouye.
That fool. See, I can't stand Dave Chappelle. He kept saying it, and
Look,
literally people are just like, "What?" He was
I
like,
can
"Y'all
never
know who
say
I'm
his name.
talking about."
I can never say his name right now. Juicy Smouye. That's all. Like every time I go to say, it's like Juicy Smouye. Yeah.
Can't.
Oh my God. All right. So kicking over to another fabulous black woman in our community is Ryan Michelle Blachier. I think that's how you say her last name. If
Faith.
you don't, Baith, okay. Even better, Baith. If you don't know who that is the wife of the uber talented and one of my, I'd watch him just to take notes of his acting is just impeccable. But
Pretty
Mr.
much.
Sterling K. Brown,
Randall
uh,
Pearson, y'all.
Randall, if I could just cry on command like that, I think I'd book more.
Bro, if he had a master class, like
How to cry on command and
nobody would make it.
convincingly.
No one would make it. Like he will cry.
Mm. Uh,
Or he will make it believable.
but Ryan has inked her first look deal with Viacom, CBS MTV Entertainment Group.
Right.
So that's pretty big. So I mean, I'm not sure what's gonna come out of it as far as like the content, but knowing her, it's gonna be dope. I really liked watching her in the first Wives Club on BET Plus. It's
Yes.
so
Yes.
good. I'm waiting on season two because I need a good show. COVID just messed up all the good shows that like really have a good draw to them, and that was just one of them. I was like, oh man, like I was just starting to get into it, and I was like, oh, so there's only one. Oh dang, there's only one season. So yeah, so that'll be coming down the pipeline. Uh, she wants to put a focus on projects that service underrepresented voices. So I think that's gonna be good for the culture, good for the community, a lot of good stuff. So y'all look out for Miss Ryan with what she's coming in. So all right, Lydia, what you got for us?
All right. So all my P Value fans, forgive me. I don't I love the intro.
Down in the dirty where the girls get naked. If you when you know she gonna shake it. One,
No,
two.
like between my mom, my sister, my aunt, they will literally go on and on and on and again with M-I, crooked letter I,
Ah, cricket letter I.
pump I,
Ah.
specific. Listen,
Ah.
oh, such a good show.
Oh
But
yeah.
speaking of that, the creator, Ms. Victoria Hall, has landed a deal with Lionsgate to
Okay.
develop new projects and will start fund supporting Black playwrights. That is what we need.
Come on,
That is
playwrights.
what happens when you help one another. Amen. She is
Hmm.
doing that.
She said, "No crabs in the barrel around here. We reaching back."
Right. Nobody, no one left behind.
Hmm.
Satan said, "Get thee behind," but we will grab one another and
Oh man.
and bring it forth. And just in further veteran news, if anyone follows with college sports, Mr.
Hmm.
Keontae Johnson, who plays for University of Florida basketball, he was recently in a, I won't call it a freak accident. He was leaving, well, they were playing, and
Hmm.
um, I think the game was this past weekend,
Yeah.
and leaving out of a first half timeout, he fell face first and ended up, you know, fainting.
Yeah.
And he had been in the hospital in critical condition. A few days ago, he was put under a medically induced coma, but he
Hmm.
is now, we feel happy to say, in stable condition. He is breathing on his own. His parents have said that he's um, following commands and, talking. And I think he was
Yeah.
even uh, able to FaceTime the team, the University of Florida basketball team.
Mm.
And yeah, he is definitely in our prayers because that is something that you don't want to see, you don't want to hear.
Yeah.
And
Did they
I
ever
mean, we're just glad he's good.
did they ever find out like why he collapsed?
Well, there was a report that he, excuse me, he had tested positive for COVID some time
Uh,
ago, and but they didn't necessarily say that that was
uh-huh.
the for sure cause. But I
Yeah.
was just thinking that with him just falling, I don't know if it was just like a lack of breath or anything, but
Yeah.
um yeah, he was helped off the floor from personnel, and I think
Dang.
at first people just felt like, oh, he fell and didn't check right away. But
Yeah.
they said that both sides, both teams were they seemed pretty upset
Yeah.
during the incident. So yeah, but yeah, he's doing better, and we're glad to hear it.
Yeah.
So stay well, sir.
Yeah. And for all my other people who, it's still a pandemic going on. So
Right.
make sure you're taking good care of yourself. I'm preaching to myself on this one. It makes no sense to run yourself in the ground and not doing the right things to take care of yourself, not eating right, not exercising, even if it's just walking. But also, I know this is a big thing, especially in the black community among black men, not going to the doctor, not wanting to go to the doctor for checkups and things like that to see what's going on.
Mhm.
Let's start making that a priority, and not even in 2021. Let's make that a priority like now, because this situation could have gone much worse um, for Keontae.
Yeah.
And like you said, NCAA. I have said this, and I will always say this, even going to a D1 school and seeing that kind of stuff. But the NCAA cares about the NCAA. Unfortunately, that's just kind of the crux of it. So, like I said, he could have tested positive, and with Keontae being one of their leading scorers,
Hmm.
they were probably like, all right, well, just don't say nothing if you feel bad, because like I said, they're gonna look out for themselves. But we got to do our own due diligence and be like, look, my health comes first. The end. Um, so, but glad to hear that he's doing better. I know his family is glad to hear it, and teammates and everybody. So, uh, checkups, people. Checkups is the key phrase.
Right.
All right, y'all. Well, that has been our Black Top. Hopefully, you enjoyed it, learned something. Be on the lookout for those projects from those three fabulous women. I was just telling Lydia, our past couple Black Tops have been very women heavy. Wait, where y'all at, men? I'm out here
Listen,
representing.
it is the year. I'm telling you, I've heard it plenty of time. It is the year of the woman. I'm
Hey,
pretty sure it is.
I'm on board. I'm for it. I think men have had their run. Uh, this is coming from a man. I think we've especially our black women, we've kind of allowed them to bolster us up.
Hmm.
The black man, we've been built up by our women, and they've kind of been the cheerleader, the project manager, all these things. Like they've made sure the black man has been put in a position to win.
Talk to them.
Uh,
Hmm.
and I just think it's time. I think it's time for the ladies to take center stage. Like, uh, so I'm in support of it. I think anything to push the push the needle forward is necessary. So do what y'all doing out here, black women. Look, I'm trying to prop up somebody as best I can. Uh, Shout out to Bay. All right, y'all. Well, we're gonna get ready for a very exciting table read. I can't wait to have this discussion and learn myself. I'm in the learner's chair today, and so we're gonna take this over. Lydia, you want to introduce it, and then we'll go into things. So
Sure.
yeah.
So the topic is for the culture, the celebration of Kwanzaa. So I won't go into all of it because literally Darius he's about to give us the history of when it started and all that jazz. But I was excited for this episode specifically because my family we celebrate Kwanzaa. Some friends we've celebrated before, and it's definitely um, one of those celebrations that I've always looked forward to. Just because I mean, holiday season, you know, you got Thanksgiving, you got Christmas. But it's
Mhm.
like Kwanzaa is that one that, for a lot of folks like yourself, like they know little about or not too much or nothing at all. And they're just like, well, what is it? Is it this? Is it that? And it's just like, it's literally a celebration. It's for us. It's for what we have literally accrued throughout the year. And we can take this time to push through and celebrate. So, Miss Jerry, please let the people know what it's all about. Well,
Okay.
where Kwanzaa came from.
And I'm gonna put a disclaimer for myself. So I was telling Lydia I know very little about Kwanzaa, almost to
Yeah.
the point where like I know of it, but not enough to be like, oh yeah, I know all these great things. So this definitely comes from a research standpoint
That's
of
cool.
learning things. I was always in the assumption until I talked to Lydia. I was always in the assumption that I couldn't celebrate Kwanzaa because I was an African. That was always
Mhm.
my like, oh, I can't celebrate this because it's not a part of my culture. But now learning, it's like, oh, it's for the culture, like African American, like it's for us. So it's interesting. So hopefully you will grab onto something and maybe even choose to incorporate it this holiday season or next holiday season. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty interested. So the holiday is relatively new compared to other holidays celebrated in the U.S. Uh, Lydia, make sure I don't mess up this person's name because you know I have a habit of messing up names.
Want me to say it?
Yeah, you say it,
All
and
right.
then I'll echo it.
Dr. Malena Karenga.
Dr. Malena Karanga,
Mhm.
professor and chairman of African Studies at California State University, first created Kwanzaa in 1966. I wasn't even thought of.
Neither was I. My mother
Look,
was literally 3 years old. My father was 6. They weren't thinking about me. They didn't
my
even know each other
mom,
yet.
my mom was two. My mom was two. So, but he created this holiday in response to the Watts riots in Los Angeles, which happened in 1965, as a way to bring African Americans together as a community. So yeah, so he wanted to create, from my understanding, he wanted to create something out of almost out of tragedy in a sense, like
Yeah.
the Watts riots being as violent as the research that that I just read up on,
Hmm.
uh, which is profound because most people want it's like with tensions that high and that boil, you don't want to think about like peace. You want to think about making people pay.
Right.
But the kudos to Dr. Karanga for seeing the need,
Hmm.
for really trying to bring the community together.
Yeah.
And it feels like that's kind of where we are right now. Like we've talked about previously, we're only a couple months removed from the murder of George Floyd, the murder of Breonna Taylor, uh, and you would think that we would want to be out there still, going up against the people that took these people from us. But
Yeah.
when I look around, I see more peace,
Yeah.
more calls for peace than anything else.
Mhm.
So I think that's a part of our culture too. Is yeah, we're hurting and we're in pain, but we also have this very unique ability to find the light to push us forward while
Right.
still asking for justice. So yeah. So the creation of Kwanzaa. So Dr. Karenga researched African harvest celebrations and combined aspects of several different celebrations, such as those of the uh, Ashanti and those of the Zulu to form the foundation of Kwanzaa. So the name Kwanzaa is derived from the phrase. Let me try my hand. Let me
Okay.
see if I can do it. Matunda ya Kwanzaa, which means
Yeah.
first fruits or harvest in Swahili. Celebrations often include singing, dancing, storytelling, poetry reading, African drumming, and feasting.
Yeah.
How'd I do?
That
Was
was
that
good. Yeah.
that was good?
And the funny thing is, well, not funny. Well, my father's tribe is the Ashanti tribe out of Ghana, West
Oh,
Africa. So
okay.
that was cool. And once I became of age to like actually understand, like
Hmm.
once we're celebrating, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
They're
Came
my
from my daddy's
peoples.
bro.
Look,
And
that's my
then
peoples.
right, and when I was in college, I took Swahili.
Hmm.
And disclaimer, so Swahili is not it's East African. My father is West African. So literally as I'm taking the class, he couldn't help me at all. But I
Said.
remember talking with right my professor at the time, and she was just like, so I remember like going into our winter term, I actually asked her about Kwanzaa. And over there, I mean they celebrated to an extent, not as I guess like over here it's more prevalent just because it's made here
Yeah.
by Dr. Karenga. But over there, I mean, it's kind of like a natural custom to just come together and in celebration. But like you said, just kudos to him for pushing more towards the cause and
Yeah.
making it food. But yeah, the dancing and the storytelling, like that really that's what always gets me is that
Yeah.
the stories and the poetry and stuff too. Like even the different poems that I've had like friends and different like colleagues and things like come up with, like it's been awesome each year. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I wish damn COVID.
Yeah. I
I,
know.
I
And
would have loved to have gone like after this conversation. I would have loved to have gone to like a celebration.
yeah.
But I'm pretty sure if there is one, it's probably online or something.
Yeah, so the biggest one that I found usually at uh the museum of oh gosh, it's the of natural history up in New York. They usually have like
Mm,
one of the biggest celebrations, and I'm pretty sure with COVID it's going to be canceled. But they have all types of performers. I
mm,
know Savion Glover, he's come out. I know Ruben Studdard, he performed one year. Like literally, it's a big old thing. So
yeah.
I literally like wanted to hopefully in coming years if they once they pick things back up, I'll be able to travel up there to check it out.
Okay. All right, y'all. All right, so when is it held? So Kwanzaa is a week-long celebration held in the United States that honors African heritage and African American culture. Kwanzaa is observed from December 26th to January 1st and culminates in gift giving and a big feast. So, sidebar, what is supposedly happening on December 21st? I keep seeing stuff like on my timeline about December 21st and
It's the winter solstice, so
okay.
that yeah. So not only will it be technically like the first day of winter,
Hmm.
it's yeah, it'll be the winter solstice.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
So
that complete. I'm like, look,
because
what?
I mean, for how this year has gone, for all the folks that go along with astronomy and the signs and things, the solstice like it can help to enhance what's happening within the chakras
Mm,
and things. But yeah, with the solstice, it can help put more things into alignment. So
well, my shock.
usually, yeah, by this
My,
time people are like, all right. it's winter. Is like no for everybody else. It's just like no, it's time to get in line. Things is about to be.
Well, my chakra's gonna be sleep somewhere.
See,
Like it's gonna be bedtime.
you don't want to do nothing but sleep. Like
I really don't. Like I talk about sleep, but then this is what happens. I'll go to bed and then I'm up by like 6:30 and I don't go back to sleep because it's like, all right, I have to get this done, this done, this done. Like I was up today at like 6:30 because we had our shoot at 9:30.
hmm
And so I was just kind of up. I paid a bill. Uh, actually, I paid two bills, paid my gas and a medical bill, and I was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna get up and watch Good Morning America, and
wow,
you
you're
know,
such an old man. Like
you know, I watch Good Morning
literally an old man.
America. I look and see what else is going on in the news. I might
Wow,
work out. And yeah, that's just kind of what I do. So, but no,
wow.
all right, so I told Lydia she should definitely do these next parts because I did not want to botch any of this. I think it is too important. So Lydia's gonna go through the 7 principles and the core materials for Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
So
All
Lydia,
right,
it
y'all.
is all you.
Alrighty. So our 7 principles, which is also known as Nguzo Saba. We have the seven ones that are in order, and I'll give you the name of them and the translation and what Dr. Karenga has his own definition for. So first up is Umoja, which means unity, and all these are in Swahili, by the way. So yes, Umoja, which means unity, and he defined it as striving for and maintaining unity in the family, community, nation, and of the race. This next one I used to always butcher when I was younger, but is Kuji Chakagulia, and that means self determination. This principle refers to defining, naming, creating, and speaking for oneself.
Oh, we gotta stop right now. We gotta stop right now.
I knew you was
That one speaks to me. Um, because I think, like I said, this year in itself has been pretty challenging.
yeah,
Uh, you know, civil unrest, pandemic, election, just like all of it. Whatever personally you may be going on. I know for me, it had a lot of ups and downs from a job standpoint and finding my footing after I kind of had already found it in something, and
yeah,
pandemic kind of shut everything down, so I had to reaffirm. So it's just like everybody has their thing,
right.
but I think this particular principle speaks to kind of pulling yourself out of that
Mm-hmm.
and moving forward again.
Yeah,
This whole Kwanzaa, from what we've discovered, comes from a place of tragedy and bad, and
yeah,
it's the light that Dr. Karenga sought to express to the community.
right.
But then from an introspective point of view, like redefining who you are, what you want, and naming it, creating the space for, and kind of speaking it into existence is kind of the mindset I think many of us should go into the rest of, not even wait until 2021,
Mm-hmm.
because some of that stuff's still gonna carry over. I don't think the problems stop at 2020.
Yeah.
uh, but really just like saying, okay, from this standpoint where I'm at right now, I'm going to choose to X, Y, and Z going into 2021.
Mm.
That's kind of
I
what
like
I'm
that.
I'm thinking with
I
that
like
second principle. Yeah.
that's it. Yes. You getting it?
Okay.
You getting
Look, I'm gonna have my kente on by the end of the year.
it? Yeah. All right. So we're at the third principle, which is Ujima. It's translated as collective work and responsibility. It also refers to uplifting your community, building and maintaining your community, making it together, and making our brothers and sisters' problems our problems and solving them together is what
Hmm.
Dr. Karenga wanted that to be. So just as Jared has put it for us, I mean, just in this year alone, we've seen the divide between it's us against them type of thing.
Hmm.
What he wanted specifically, especially during that time that it was created. was just that, literally. And it was like, no, it's about you fall, I pick you up. So yes, Ujima. Next is Ujama. It is cooperative economics, and similar to Ujima, the principle refers to uplifting your community economically, building and
Mm.
maintaining your own stores, shops, and other businesses, and to profit from them together, aka
Ah.
Black Wall
Mm.
Street. That's where we at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what it kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of our previous episode where the coins at. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
where
Mm-hmm.
we basically were talking about looking for funding where we as our community have these great projects and things, but we can never find the funding. And now, excuse me, we've turned to each other and we've found so much community, so many resources within each other.
Right.
And I was like, how many doors that we could have unlocked collectively waited this long to be unlocked? You know,
Mm,
we were so dependent on other people asking, "Gimme, gimme, gimme."
mm,
But as my mom would see, everything you got is in the village. Everything you need somebody with a good that knows good graphics, got somebody. You know somebody who knows the business side of something, got that. You know somebody who knows where to find the funding, grant writing, got them. Like it's
right.
in the village. Like
Right.
everything is right there.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's no coincidence that many of us, especially in the black community, especially here in Atlanta, in the black community, the arts community especially, are interconnected so heavily with each other.
Oh yeah.
Like of course we've been in shows and we know each other, but like on a deeper level, we're all kind of like interconnected and
Mm-hmm.
like-minded for a reason.
Right.
And I think that'll blossom more as we get into 2021. It's really gonna be
Absolutely.
one of those things that we're building platforms and things for each other to
Yeah.
uplift the next person.
That's it.
So yeah, I'm
You
I'm
better you
I'm
better
digging this.
learn.
Look, I'm digging this Kwanzaa thing. Let's go.
This is my favorite one. Nia, which means purpose. The doc, he put it down as making our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. Amen.
Mm,
We
okay.
have the next one, Kuumba or Kumba, meaning creativity. He defined it as the principle of always doing as much as we can in the way that we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it.
Oh, Letty, you got to say that one more time.
All
I'm
right.
sorry. You got to say that one more time now. Run that back, Pastor.
You're Kaumba, meaning creativity, is defined as the principle to always do as much as we can in the way we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it.
Whew.
Yes.
Mm, mm.
And our last principle is Imani, which translates to faith. He defined it as believing with all of your heart in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. Collectively,
Hmm.
there are many of principles that anybody can go by, but these seven literally can put it all together.
Yeah.
And you got a mighty blow. That's awesome.
No, no, yeah. That those speak volumes
Oh
to
yeah.
where we're trying to go.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and sometimes you need to look back at stuff like this. Like I said, there are some people who don't know any of this.
Yeah.
Me, I have no clue. And now that I think about it, I've been to one Kwanzaa celebration
Okay.
as a kid. But of course, I went because my friend invited me, but I didn't really know. I'm not really paying attention. What's going on? There was food. I think
Oh yeah. The
that
food's
was
there.
my whole mindset. Is like, oh, cookies. That's it. That's all I remember. That's all I remember. Um, but these speak to where we're trying to go, but also the the inside, the internal stuff that we're
Hmm.
trying to rebuild, especially the Kumba.
Yeah,
I think the Kumba just hits so hard for me because it's like I think during the pandemic, I found I wanted to create more spaces for us
you
and
did.
more opportunities for us,
You did.
and everything since then has been okay. How do I put us in the conversation? Because
Hmm.
we've been out of it too long.
Hmm.
And then faith. I mean, I have so much faith in our community to do better than we have been,
Yeah,
and I think it only grows if more people have these mindsets of it's not about just me, 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 me.
yeah.
It's about how do me help we.
Right.
hmm So,
Mm.
oh, I'm gonna put that on a shirt. How does me help we?
We help me.
Help me.
All right. Let's get to the core materials that you'll
Okay.
need. So that just like our seven principles, there are seven materials, and if you are a follower of the Lord, seven is the number of completion. Amen.
Mm, come on now.
And also, I don't know if we put this in the beginning, but Kwanzaa is not a religious holiday. It's specifically
Mm,
just a celebration for us. But I think a lot of folks just over time have made it more of that just because it can be in a spiritual sense. But
mm-hmm.
you know, tomato, tomato, whatever. It literally can lend to be either way. But
Okay.
here are our materials. So you have the crops, which is mazeo. It's symbolic of the African harvests and celebrations and of the rewards of productive and collective labor. You have keka, the mat, which is symbolic of our tradition and history and therefore the foundation on which we build. So usually it's just like a printed cloth of some sort that you can lay upon, everything, um, lay upon all the materials. You have muhindi, which is the corn, which is symbolic of our children and our future in which they embody. You have mushama saba, which are the seven candles that are ceremonial objects that serve to symbolically recreate the sun's power, as well as to provide light. There are three red candles, three green candles, and one black candle that are placed in the kanara. And the kanara is a seven-place candelabra or candle holder and represents our ancestry and the original stalk from which we came. You have the kakombe cha umoja, which is also the unity cup. On the sixth day of Kwanzaa, the libation ritual is performed to honor the ancestors. Every family member and guest will take a drink together as a sign of unity and remembrance. And last is zawadi, which are the gifts. So on the last day of Kwanzaa, gifts are given to encourage growth and achievement and success. And handmade gifts are encouraged to promote self-determination, purpose, and creativity. So those are the core materials that you will need upon your altar, if you will, for Kwanzaa. So the colors, as I said, of the candles. So usually, if you've seen it in like a picture, you'll have the three colors on the left. So you have the three green, the three red, and one in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody's familiar with the Bandera flag, which was introduced by the Honorable Marcus Garvey as the basically the national flag. When you see it, it represents us. You usually see one that has, the fist,
Mm-hmm.
but the colors all mean something. So for black, it is for the people. Red is significance of the blood or of the struggle, and green can be for the future, can be for the fruits, can be for from which we have been given. For some, it can be about money, but more so, it's just the overall growth and gifts from which we bestowed for the year ahead, for the year present, and for the year to come and past. So yeah, that's your full lesson on
Okay.
yeah.
Now, now, Lydia, you like you say, you're quite familiar as you've taken us through the lesson.
Yeah.
But do you want to tell them about like your experience, like family celebration and whatnot, how this goes about?
Yeah, sure. So my grandmother actually started a celebration for my family, a program, if you will, back in the late 70s, early 80s. My mom and my aunt before her, they were actually still in high school around this time, and she held it each year at either her home, and once I was born up until I say about like 5, we usually had it at her house, and then it would trade on into my aunt's. I think it was maybe once or twice we had it at my parents' home as well. And I remember when I was maybe like 5 or 6, maybe 6, um, my grandmother asked me did I want to sing at one of them, and she was like, "Oh well, we're just gonna do this program if you want to sing for us." So I remember watching her light the candles. She brought like some gifts that she had wrapped up from that morning, and she was already cooking and things. And I remember my aunt and some other family members, some family friends, they had their food that they brought. And I was like, "This is about to be a party," but it was right after Christmas. So I'm like, "So we're doing this all over again? Like we're basically doing Christmas?" And she was like, "No, it's for Kwanzaa." I was like, she was like, "So just sing a song." And this was when I like was first getting out of my shell of
Mm.
singing and like really more in front of people instead of just my parents like hearing me yodel. Um,
Not yodel.
and so she was like, just sing whatever you like. And I was like, okay, I forget I don't know what I sung. But yeah, so usually at the programs I'd always sing. And once my grandmother passed, my aunt took over and she continued on with the program. So yeah, it's been a it's been interesting just because for our program that we do is usually for that one night, but we'll still continue on with, with the celebration of, the
Mm.
7 days. And, we'll, check in with each other, and we'll still like trade gifts and things. And then usually we would try to do it between maybe like the 28th before I say like the first day, so that we can kind of like bounce off that last day being, the day that we, do the feast and have the gifts and things. So yeah, it's and also like I said, my father is from Ghana, and I don't think he knew too much about it once him and my mom were married. And if he did, I mean, I don't know, but it it was interesting. I think like once we got more into it and we continued on with the program, that he was, getting our recollection of what was created here in the
Mhm.
States. And, from it being from not only his tribe, he could see it from our perspective. So yeah, my family, we have and I said that some friends of mine, I remember back in college, I actually had a program that I held. It was literally so impromptu. I think I don't even think I had a candle holder. It was I just had I had like a kente like this. It was
Mhm.
a little bit bigger. I had the candles, and I think somebody like made some, I don't know, we had like lasagna or something. It was literally like so last minute. And they were just like, well, let's do it how your family does it. Because I was at school, so literally like they were like, oh, let's do it just like they do it. Okay, we can put us into. And we read the principles. We went through everything, and it was cool. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, man, I can honestly say I feel like this is way better than the Proud Families episode I told you I was going to watch.
Y'all, this man told me, all right, cool. I'm gonna look up the Proud Family episode. I said, you better look up more than Proud Family. But that episode, it does give it's a cute little rendition of
Look,
families and what
I
they
said,
do.
look, I don't know much, so I'm gonna go watch this episode and try to get a little understanding, just
Help.
so I know what's going on. But no, it was great, great job, Miss Lydia. I definitely learned some things that hopefully uh I can start incorporating the celebration in my own life and going forward. So I'm excited. I'm gonna have to go learn some more after this is all done, and hopefully when
Yeah.
COVID's over with next season, we can go check out one and
Oh yeah.
see what's popping. So all right, y'all. Well, I think that's a good place to wrap up our table read with for the culture celebration of Kwanzaa. So hopefully you guys learned something. Much like myself, I'm kind of like empowered even more. I
Yeah, you
feel
set up a little bit, like
look, look, I'm ready to go celebrate, show some things. So
it's to celebrate.
But no, thank you so much, Lydia. I definitely appreciate it. I'm glad
No
we got to
problem.
do it.
Yeah.
I don't know what spurred me to be like, hey, we should do this, but it was something just like we should talk about. We talk enough about Saint Nick and all these other things, but we never
They're trying to
grasp
make
about,
Santa black, but that's not
people
enough.
revolt about that. Santa being black, it's like burn it all, just burn it all down. But no, something that's literally for the culture that is intended to uplift us, I think is very important. So, all right, people. So, with our season finale, we have to end our show much like any other show, and that is with our BTR moment. And that does not necessarily stand for Black Table Read. It stands for our Breathe, Think, Release portion. This is where we kind of talk about one final little moment and we wrap everything up in a nice, pretty bow. And we send you back into the world as a well educated person. So I'm going to take the reins and kind of close this out. And just after hearing them, I want to talk about just principles for ourselves. I think it's very important as a community, but also as an individual to have principles that are going to carry you through life in a positive manner. There's going to be enough negativity on the right of you, on the left of you. It'll be all around you, but the things that ground you are the things that really make you who you are. It makes you strong inside and out. Um, like I said, 2021 has just been a very trying time for everybody in some form or fashion. No one person's struggle is greater than the other. Everybody's at their own pace and should
Mhm.
be respected as some. But I think what has made some people stronger than others is again the principles that they have uh, that solidify them as, hey, no matter what's going on, I'm still going to be X, Y, and Z through it all. And just hearing some of these principles that Lydia talked about, I think it's important even after Kwanzaa is done to continue to incorporate those into your life. I think a lot of times during the holidays, we hear messages, we hear evidence of things that essentially could carry us on, and we just kind of leave it at the holiday. you know we talk about the birth of Christ and the significance of it and everything and how he was came to save mankind and be the Prince of Peace, and then we just kind of leave it there. It's like, all right, I gotta go get ready for Easter. We gotta
Right.
go. But it's like, stay let that carry with you for a little bit. Let it manifest. Because for me, like I said, uh
Think you
the
like Kumba.
Kumba, the
Mhm.
Kumba, the Kumba, I'm taking that with me. Like the Kumba's going right here in the check, because we need something to ground us as things get harder, as we get older, as life changes. I mean, life right now looks nothing what I thought my late 20s was gonna look like. Uh and I'm okay with that, because the principles that I have instilled in myself and that my parents instilled in myself and what my village instilled in myself is what has carried me on. And I think that's what Kwanzaa at its core, it's about the village taking care of one another.
Right.
It's about the people taking care of one another, because unfortunately these people are not going to change that much. They're not going to like us for whatever reason. They won't support us for whatever reason. So cool. All right. I got you. You got me. Lydia, know I got her back. She got my back. That's how it should be going forward. If nothing else, we have to look out for each other and have principles that we can pass on to one another. But like I said, also ones that are definitely just going to ground us and push us forward. So, even during this holiday season, even after it's all done, I encourage you to find principles, whether it be within the Kwanzaa vein or not, that will continue to push you forward and continue to solidify the person that you have the potential to be. Because it should not be me, me, me. It should be me. How can I help we?
Mm.
And that is your BTR moment. hopefully it manifests right on up in there. Oh man, I'm so sad now.
I know, right? I ain't gonna see you for like, I don't know, couple weeks.
I know. You can still text me. It's cool.
Right.
Y'all, I'm so glad me and Lydia finally got to do this whole thing. I mean, Black Table Read been just a blessing for me, just having a platform for me and her to just come and just be ourselves and say what we got to say and
Legit.
have you guys support. So thank you guys who have been supporting since day one, who've been watching the videos, listen to the podcast, who've been giving us great feedback. We love it. We love you guys. Stay tuned for whatever's gonna come. I think it's like I said, I think it's gonna be popping. Me and Lydia already talked about some stuff, and I can't wait. I can't wait. So thank you guys again. Be blessed, be well. As I have said since we started this, please wear a mask. Put that mask on your face. Make sure it covers your nose and your mouth
And wash your hands.
and other places.
But
Wash it all.
that's it.
Some of y'all weren't doing that before the pandemic even started, so start now. But y'all, please make sure you guys are taking care of yourselves. Uh, this is just your health announcement for the last episode. If you do feel sick or you think you've been exposed, there are plenty of places you can go get a quick little COVID test to rule out anything. We want to make sure that everybody's being taken care of and safety is number one. So please be mindful of your surroundings and who you're interacting with and wear a mask. All right, Lydia, anything else?
Thank you to everybody. It's crazy that we have made it for what, 3 months?
Two
You said
months.
it's October, 2 months?
2 months. 2 months.
2 months. Look, I'm trying to push us ahead.
Ah,
We'll get there. It's gonna happen. But yeah, shout out to everybody who even jumped on tonight.
yeah.
It's been cool. It's been real nice to come each week with something new and get to
Mm.
interact and talk about what's going on within the community. And yeah, I'm sad, but
It's a good sad though. It's a good sad.
it's a good
It's a
say.
good sad. We'll
So,
be we coming back, so they can't cancel us. They
oh no,
we own our
we
own
made it.
stuff. Look, we made this table. Ain't nobody finna kick us out.
Right.
All right, y'all. Well, we will see you guys in 2021. Have a very happy holidays. We love you, and we'll talk to you guys soon. All right. Peace.
Bye.
Mhm.